Hey folks, welcome back to the Leeds Gamer. It's match preview time. It's Leeds United versus Nottingham Forest. It's going to be played Friday night under the lights at Ellen Road. Leeds have a good record playing under the lights at the moment. They are 4 games played this season and 4 games won. So a good record to have going into this fixture. And it is against a team that's directly below us as well. Leeds currently in 16th, Nottingham Forest currently in 17th, and there is nothing to separate the two teams in the division. So, very important that Leeds got a win here. So, let's have a look at the Nottingham Forest team first. This was quite difficult to figure out. They have made a couple of signings in January, and there's every possibility they may start. So, in goal, I've gone with Stefan Ortega, who's the new goalkeeper they've signed. They have a couple of goalkeeping problems at the moment with Matt Sells and John Victor being unavailable, so Angus Gunn actually got an appearance quite recently, but I think that they would prefer Ortega over Gunn. Again, I could be wrong, but anyway. They've got a little bit of an issue at fullback as well, so I think that Olaina and Lucanet, the new left back, may start for them. Centre-back pairing of Nikola Milenkovic and Murillo Santiago, they've both played quite a bit this season, so there's not really any reason for either of them to be dropped. Then you've got the player that's played the most for Nottingham Forest this season, Elliot Anderson, talented English midfielder who's having a very good season despite Nottingham Forest being one place above the relegation zone. And then there's a possibility that he may be partnered up in midfield with Ibrahim Sangare, and I've gone with Nicholas Dominguez, but again it's very difficult to kind of figure out as to what system Sean Dyche will go with and who will actually play. And I've kind of gone with the front three. Again, this might be wrong as well. Front three of Dan Ndoye, Morgan Gibbs-White, and this could be pronounced so many ways. I would imagine it's probably pronounced Igor Jesus, but it could be Igor Jesus. So take your pick on that one. Gibbs-White is the obvious attacking threat that we need to be aware of. He's scored the most goals for Forest this season with 6. He will have to be kept quiet. And then obviously Elliot Anderson is the other, particularly talented player in that 11. But they've got a strong squad, but it's a very unbalanced squad. Seems to have lots of players in one position, not that many players in other positions. This is the nature of their owner Marinakis, who will basically splash the cash whenever and wherever he desires. So anyway, moving on to the Leeds lineup. As I say, with that Forest lineup, there's every chance it's wrong. They've got so many different options in their squad, even though technically it's still supposed to be a 25-man squad. Well, there we go. We will find out come 8 o'clock on Friday. So, missing out for Leeds United, Dylan Millier and Alex Cairns is the normal situation, really. As you can only, traditionally have one starting goalkeeper and one sub-goalkeeper. I think that Sam Byron might miss out on the squad, unfortunately. I feel a bit sorry for Sam because it's obvious that he's seen as the bottom choice outfield player in the squad when every player is fit, and I find that a bit harsh on him, really. But he's always reliable when he gets the extremely rare occasional chance. So I wouldn't have any qualms if he was to be on the bench. But I think we've probably got too many players available now, which then pushes Sam out of the pecking order, unfortunately. Unfortunately, Anton Stack is out for a minimum of 2 games, and Lucas Metcher is still out, so he's out for a minimum of 1 more game. So that gives us a bench of... Now, I've decided to put Carl Darlow on the bench because I feel that the mistake that he made in the last match, even though we were up against a strong opposition, I think that if he makes some minor adjustments to that, not only does he not concede the own goal, I just don't think Gaz will score a goal at all from it. And I feel that one error that Darlow made was worse than all of the other errors that Perry's made. so far this season. So for me, I've swapped him. Do I think that Farker will swap him? No, I think he'll go with Darlow. But I've put Carl back on the bench. Bit unfortunate for James Justin. I just prefer round pegs in round holes, if that makes sense. I prefer having a centre back at centre back. To kind of put it in layman's terms, and so really, bit unfortunate on James. He's done out wrong. He's looked very good, but I don't think Seb Bornau's done that much wrong either. So there is a possibility that Yacobiol might be fit enough to start, but I've gone on the hunch that he might not be because he has been injured. Depends on whether Daniel Farker feels that Yacobiol is fit enough to start. If he's fit enough to start, there's no doubt that Yacobiol starts. Both him and Ethan Ampadu will be tasked with keeping the likes of Gibbs White quiet. And Biol's been very, very good at that. He's kept the main goal scorer of the opposition quiet, for several times over when he has recently played. But obviously the last few games he's been unavailable. And he's been a bit of a miss. So, if Yaka starts, Seb drops to the bench, Joe moves to the right side of defence, Yaka in the middle, and then Pascal Struijk at left centre-back. I have heard, and it's only a rumour, created by AI, that Pascal Struijk's out for the rest of the season. I hope it's wrong. I absolutely hope it's wrong. Pascal's been good this season, and I actually think Pascal's getting better and better. I really do. There's little elements of his game that are just getting better, and I just hope that he is still available and that AI report is wrong. Because poor fella, he can't get through a whole season without picking up some kind of injury. He's had some big chunks of injury time in recent seasons as Pascal, and he's been a good player for us. So I don't want to see any Leeds player injured, but Pascal just. It'd be great if Pascal can get through a season without any major injury. That'd be positive. But anyway, that's my thoughts there. Moving on to the midfield, I think there's every chance that Daniel Farker might start with Ilya Gruev, basically taking Anton Stack's position. I really hope not. I would like to go with either Sean Longstaff or Autanaka. Just someone that's a little bit more attacking based and attacking, like an attacking thought process in their play. So I've put Longstaff in the 11. It really depends on whether Sean's fit enough or not. Autanaka's not in form at the moment. His mentality, there's something bugging him. I feel for him because he's such an honest player. And when he's in form, he's a very tidy footballer, a very good footballer when his head's right. I just feel there's something not quite right with Auer at the minute, and he's got to find that confidence from somewhere. And I don't know, like for the most part, Daniel Farker he's got good man management skills. I just think that Daniel Farker needs to give Autanaka, give him a cuddle. yeah, whatever it takes, just kind of show out that he still believes in him. I just wonder whether Autanaka feels that he's not necessarily being pushed out, but that he's just not getting as much game time as he would like. I don't know. It's hard to tell. So I've gone with Longstaff taking the place of Anton Stack. Plus, what you do get with Sean Longstaff is he's another one that's quite good with the set piece delivery, and just with Sean's Premier League experience as well. I think this is a match that Sean really comes into it with it. With all that experience he's got, I think he can come into the fore quite well with this one. It's a bit unfortunate for Wilfred Gnonto. And Facundo Buonanotte, because the two players ahead of them, you've got Brendan Aronson, ahead of Buonanotte because Aaronson's in very good form. And with Noah Okafor, I'd love to see Noah get the form back that he had early on in the season. Started the season quite well. Got himself a couple of goals, looked very effective against the defenders, very technical player, good skillful player. But he hasn't had the same kind of impact for quite some time now. But I do feel that Daniel Farke will probably go with Brendan Aronson and Noah Okafor either side of Dominic Calvert-Lewin, partially because Lucas Metz is not available. So yeah, that's my take on it, folks. It's not the 11 I want to see. I want to see Metcher up front. I want to see us go back to that 5-3-2/3-5-2 because that's where we looked our best. You look at the results we had. I think we used that formation against Chelsea and Crystal Palace, and look at the results: 3-1 and 4-1. Now Daniel Farke said that in terms of playing two natural strikers up front is dependent on whether the opposition plays with a wide formation or a narrow formation. I'm a bit mixed on that opinion, quite frankly, but my opinion don't count. Farke's does. that's my take on it. So yeah, that's that really, folks. I'm not going to go into it any further. I feel it is what it is. We've got a good squad at the minute. I like the players we've got. It's a very likeable squad. The effort that they're putting in is really good. Take the two Arsenal games out of the equation, our goal difference would be at a maximum 9 goals better. But as a minimum, even if we'd lost both games 2-0 each, so we take a -4 against Arsenal instead of a -9. You know what I mean? It just grates on you that it's such a hefty knock on the goal difference, because we're now dead level with Nottingham Forest on goal difference. We need to use this match against Forest to get our goal difference, to start getting our goal difference back to something like again, because we can't let that goal difference slip. We badly need Jacobiol back in that defence. In a back three with Jacobiol at the very centre of it, he's massive. He's been very, very good in that position. And again, when we had Joe Rodon at the right of Jacobiol and Pascal Struijk at the left of Jacobiol, those three are just making a very good partnership together in as a defensive three. So I really hope that we can get those three back together again. And again, unfortunate for Seb Bornau. I mean, he would drop back to the bench at that point, and it'd be a straight swap as far as these lineups are concerned. So Biol and Bornau would swap positions there. But yeah, there we go, folks. I'll leave it at that. What's your thoughts? Do you think that will be the Forest lineup? Do you think the Forest will put their 2 January signings straight into the mix with Ortega and Nets? Ortega in nets and nets. God. Well, that works out, doesn't it? Well, it's bound to happen then, isn't it? With that analogy, it's bound to happen. Yeah, so they'll probably start. As I say, we need to keep Gibbs White quiet. He's in good form at the minute. But Forest, I think they've still got European competition, so they're going to have to, Dyche is going to have to juggle his squad around accordingly. So yeah, we'll see. But I'll leave it there, folks. Do please subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Please give the video a like and a hype. Really wanting to try and boost the channel for the rest of the year. Let's go ambitious. Let's get to 1,000 subs by the end of this year. It's mega ambitious. We're still on we're on 200 at the minute. I'd love to see it get to 1,000. Let's really see the channel boost in that regard. But really appreciate everyone who does support the channel. Do please keep supporting, because I really do appreciate it, because I do enjoy doing this and I want to keep doing this. There hasn't been a lot of content this week. I've been doing a course which should hopefully get me into a job within the next couple of months. Cross fingers, because this unemployment has gone on way too long. But anyway, leave it there, folks. Big thank you as always. Take care. See you in the next one. Bye for now.